On this episode of Travelogue, come along on a road trip around southern Yunnan's Honghe Prefecture. Marvel at the Swallow's Cave in Jianshui and feel the pulse of Shiping's treasured past. Dance along to the beat of the flower-based branch of the Yi minority and be enchanted by Tuanshan, a well-preserved 600-year-old village, a true cultural relic, here on Travelogue. Picking up from the last episode, we continue our road trip in Honghe Prefecture in southern Yunnan. This is the private garden of the Zhu family in Jianshui, where we stayed for the night. Built in 1905 at the end of the Guangxu reign of the Qing dynasty, this residential courtyard is the crown jewel of this town. Another attraction we visited was the quaint old Chaoyang Lou in Jianshui Old Town. Jianshui was a military outpost some 700 years ago in the Yuan dynasty. It's also home to the second largest Confucius temple in China.
So we're going to be heading towards an eastern direction to Swallow's Cave, and after that it's going to be onwards and forwards to Shiping. Goodbye, beautiful accommodation.
I had the chance to meet a Chinese guy in Kunming that showed me the way, so we went together here. So it was pretty easy for me.
Okay.
But if I didn't have this guy, it would have been really, really difficult.
So did you, how did you try and plan for the trip then? Did you follow his directions, or did you have some ideas on where to go?
Yeah, I had an idea because I've read the Route Guide, which is a French guy. And they say that Jianshui was one of the most traditional cities to visit, so I wanted to go there. And I had planned to go alone, so I really had the chance to meet these Chinese guys, because otherwise it would have been really, really difficult for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
This daredevil climber is from the Yi ethnic minority group. He scaled these rocks as part of the performance, but ironically, he seemed more shy of the camera than of the death-defying stunts.
That was mind-boggling. I was just having a chat, and he told me that his father, who also climbed, dropped twice from 60 meters, and he's still not afraid. So that is incredible stuff. A, he's got no harness. B, he's got no special climbing shoes, and at the highest point, he was about 12 stories high. I mean, can you imagine? Every time he gets up there, it's like he's risking his life, and that's normal to him. It's so ironic. It's completely normal. We're going to go into the water cave. Come on.
It was a short 28-kilometer drive to the Swallow's Cave. An entrance ticket costs 80 kwai. But for 133 kwai, you can get access to 3 sites: the private garden of the Zhu family, Confucius Temple, and the Swallow's Cave. The grotto has 2 main sections, a dry and water cave. The river flows 7 kilometers into one. Expert climbers scale the rocks and hang inscribed tablets on the roof for prosperity, safety, and luck. During the spring and summer seasons, hundreds of thousands of swallows flock here. Although we missed this window, this gigantic karst formation is a marvel in itself.
They seem to have thought of everything here. They've got trinkets, knickknacks, and souvenirs. Oh, naturally, bird's nest that's harvested from here.
The best thing to do is to sample the local delights here for the final verdict.
So you can see this bird's nest porridge. I'm struggling to find it. Well, it costs 10 kwai, so not a lot of it in there, but it's thick and gooey and it looks nourishing because the cave is about a few degrees colder inside than it is outside. And after you're done with this porridge, what you can do is, there's a rock wall behind, right, and you can try and climb up. But there's a harness, of course. I think I'll just stick with eating my porridge for now.
They have gone all high-tech here with automatic sensors dramatically lighting up the caves. But something about this dark and foreboding environment made me want to exercise my vocal cords.
I've always wanted to do this in a cave. All right, you ready? Here goes. Hello? Is there anyone home? No! Nobody. All right then. Is no one home? It's a magnificent cave.
From the Swallows Cave, we headed west to Tuanshan Village, which lies between Jianshui and Shiping. Now there's something free you can't miss on this route.
This is Shuanglongqiao, and it's a really famous bridge. We decided to stop off here en route to Tuanshan Village. It's got 17 spans and it's built through different eras, so it's worth a look and a picture too. Is that a guy on a styrofoam?
Tuanshan Village lies 13 kilometers west of Jianshui. The population of the village is just 920 in 240 households, with Zhang as the main clan.
OK， 谢谢你，好吧，再见，高兴跟你聊天，再见。This is spectacular, just quiet, and a moment to take this all in. We decided to trek up to get a good perspective on Tuanshan Village, and you can get the tour guide for about 20 RMB. It's well worth it. You know, this village has been there for more than 600 years, and it's really been well preserved. I'm really hoping the sun just stays up there for a while. Come on, we need to infiltrate the village a little bit more. Ooh, careful now. Rocks are a bit tricky.
A merchant named Zhang Fu came from Jiangxi to Tuanshan and settled in 1382 for business. He fell in love with the land and a local lady and brought the Han Chinese culture over. Marvel at well-preserved temples, ancestral falls and residential courtyards at only 20 RMB. This is a rare example of a traditional Yunnan village compound.
这个是从哪里的？是一个小住民宿的还是？是这当地的。是当地的一种手工艺品吗？
我两个都拿吧，30。好。You know, the last thing you ever expect here is to see them selling knickknacks when you come in a place like this, but it's a lot more authentic than what you find on the streets. And there's even, check this out,
麻将。
That's right, a traveler's mahjong set. So if you're on the plane, you can really get involved in the Chinese culture. 这个卖多少钱
？100块钱。
我可以开始学麻将了。来嘛，我们出来跟我聊一下嘛。来嘛，来嘛。I'm trying to get her out. She's the direct descendant of the Zhang family, the one who started this village. So I'm trying to chat with her. I spoke with her a while, but when the cameras turned on, she laughed and then she went inside. 可以出来嘛，来来来，跟你聊几句嘛。来吧来吧，导游来帮忙。导游妈妈以为到哪了？哦，你买的。你为什么喜欢这个照片？为什么呢？我喜欢小窝窝，你喜欢月亮。他喜欢孩子。早就不了。
他让你到他家吃饭。
好，我们走吧。
他让你在他家吃饭。
哦，在你家吃饭。谢谢你啊。She's inviting me.
After visiting Tuanshan village in Jianshui, we continued our journey west to Shiping County and stayed for the night in one of these converted hotels, which was rather snazzy. Located 240 kilometers from Kunming, Shiping hosts a population of 280,000. Shiping might be developing, but they're doing it with taste. This 2,000-year-old county has restored the former glory of its old courtyards with a little modern twist.
We're at cabin in Shiping, eating the tofu. A wet and rainy day here in Shiping, but you still can manage to have some fun here. This is the old town. We just arrived late last night, and temperatures really vary here. Once it rains, it chills you to the bone, but it's still worth just taking a spin around because all the major sites are congregated around here. You never know what you might find. Oh yeah, it's also free of charge to just go into these beautiful Chinese courtyards.
From music to soybeans, Shiping's tofu is widely known and accepted as more famous than Jianshui's.
Lunchtime now, and Shiping is renowned for its very famous tofu. Now, there are restaurants like these that literally conjure up hundreds of varieties of tofu, and for a tofu connoisseur like I am, this is the ultimate orgasmic gastronomical pleasure. Ooh, hot. Ooh. Good. This must be a tofu lover's paradise, and I just think that I'm entering into this extravaganza of tofu. There's stir-fried tofu, baked tofu, barbecue tofu, steamed tofu, round tofu, mashed up tofu, circle tofu. There's velvety, smooth tofu, there's red tofu, there's chili tofu, there's parsley tofu, there's duck tofu, there's chicken tofu, there's broccoli tofu, there's egg tofu, there's peas tofu. I love Shiping!
Swiftly after lunch and all that tofu madness, we drove towards Zhenying village. This 600-year-old village is located in Baosu Township. In 1999, it was given the title of the first village of Yunnan. This place is a great starting point to learn about old southern Chinese culture. A short 10 kilometers west of Shiping and only 10 RMB to visit are 403 courtyards, and 28 of them are better preserved. The Han, Yi, Dai, Han ethnic minorities coexist harmoniously in this village. But the Han Chinese culture is more pronounced here. The rain kept most indoors and happily engaged in social activities like mahjong. Though our camera was in the room, locals here hardly flinched at all. Perhaps they were used to having visitors in their backyards, and all that flash voltage did not deter them from their game. It's easy to mingle with locals here, or if you can, spend some quiet time marveling at the timeless courtyard.
Zhenying village has churned out scholars who set for imperial examination, and they've gained position, power, and wealth. They've also built wells, bridges, ancestral halls, and good homes. Some of them are free for viewing, and some are not.
The prominent folk houses, village gates, ancestral halls and temples here are all living testaments of the once rich and brilliant history of Zhenyin. Well-heeled folks of the past often blew a budget on intricate carvings. Here, you can catch a rare glimpse of the elaborate door carvings of courtyards that are under state protection. To me, the carvings spoke of a story, and if you look hard enough, you might be able to decipher the meanings. Or perhaps I can ask my tour guide, though his Mandarin in this part of rural China is rather heavily accented.
Chenlong?
Chai.
Huh?
Chai.
Thai? Oh, Thai?
Chai.
Thai? Tian? Thai?
Chai.
Money. I think it must be money. I don't know. You know, it costs 10 kwai to come in, and these carvings are exquisitely beautiful, but behind each of these, there's a story, a symbolism, and although he tried to explain it to me, I find it quite hard. So you're better off jumping online, Googling old Chinese carving and symbolism on it, because there's, well, I better bet that you'll be able to understand, because there aren't many English guides here. Chouqi?
Oh,
humid. Humidity.
草木地板，地板嘛，你不怕空气是吧？就潮湿。
走门了。师傅，你照顾这个地方有多久了？
我82年了。
82年
？82岁啊。
你现在82岁了？
对。
你脸色真好。
Cobbled streets and courtyards spread across Zhenyin village, giving it a quaint charm and a mellow pace of life. Night is approaching, and the town beckons our return. We can easily spend a full day touring the perimeters or even visiting someone's home, if you politely ask.
I'm feeling really queasy right now. We went up and down. Actually, we just went up the mountain and it was meandering. And if you don't have good intestinal fortitude like me, then you probably don't want to eat breakfast. But FYI, the rest of the crew is fine. They're feeling fabulous. Or at least the view is really breathtaking and might distract me from the inevitable.
We spent the night in Shiping town and arrived here in Mushan village. The roads leading up to the village were no good, well, at least not for me. Mushan village is well known for the flower-waste branch of the Yi ethnic minority. They are more remote, tucked away in the mountainous region 60 kilometers north of Shiping. There are striking differences between all the Yi subgroups in their habits and clothing. Some say the altitudinal difference of the Yi area directly impacts their lifestyle and livelihood. The flower waste branch are natural singers as they plow and work the fields. And trust me, with moves and vocal cords like that, most of them have been doing this since they were kids.
再唱一下，再唱一下。We'll let the professionals do their thing. They're after all, you know, the flower waste branch of the Yi tribe. And if you think about China, with 1.3 billion people, 94% are Han Chinese, and only 6% are ethnic minority. And we're just on the tip of the iceberg with this one branch of the Yi people. And you know, really, I just feel so moved being here because it's such a remote place, and we're driven about 1.5 hours from Shiping. But you know, we've come to this point where you know we can really see the colorful culture, and I'm just so fascinated because it's not something you get to see very much in our modern day lives. So let's let them do their thing.
There are about 8 million Yi ethnic minority people in China. They live primarily in the rural mountainous area of Sichuan, Yunnan, Huizhou, and Guangxi. The flower waste is only one of the subgroups found here in Honghe Prefecture. What's beautiful about this group is their enigmatic and captivating voices when sung in unison. It's like nothing I've ever heard. This branch of the Yi ethnic minority live high up in the mountains, near the borders with Vietnam, Laos, and Myanmar. The unique sound of their music was born in one of the world's most spectacular paddy fields. An entire afternoon whizzed by quickly, and we seem to be the only visitors here today, or perhaps in weeks. This village is a gem of a place in terms of culture, landscape, and music.
If you're really good at singing in this culture, then you have lots of admirers. 那就要唱得好，
但是唱得带鹅爆了，对不对？但是带恨我。
有没有一个不爱人的一个歌，就是你抛弃了我 ？You have a song that you know, 'cause love songs. 不想唱了。没有吗？不唱了。哦，就是唱爱人的歌。啊，就是迎爱人的歌。Oh, such a beautiful culture.
That was such a fascinating experience. I mean, it's a breath of fresh air to be here, and the women just opened up, and when they sang, there was joy in their hearts. You know, they carry the torch for their tradition and for their culture. And a large part of me, I realized that modernization has hit Mushan village already. You know, there are satellite dishes, they're using mobile phones, they're watching TV, singing karaoke music. And I really urge you to come as soon as you can, because this is such a unique experience that's second to none. Okay, very good. Bye-bye. 要走了 Bye-bye. Great big hug. Big hug.
It was an absolute privilege to observe the lives of the ethnic minorities here in Shiping. Although I sampled the famous tofu, one cannot leave this county without visiting Yilong Lake. This massive freshwater lake is known for its tranquil and peaceful surroundings, with lotus flowers dotted all over.
so much of traveling is really dictated by the weather. This is our last stop in Shiping County, and it's Huanwen Park, where you get a spectacular view of Yilong Lake. But obviously today's been really foggy, and perhaps the next time you come, the weather will be kinder to you. Now, we've got to get a move on, going down south to Honghe. So I'm really excited about the Red River. Hopefully everything will go as planned.